It's 4:30 and this is WKYT This Morning. It was a close race in Kentucky for the two Democratic presidential candidates. We'll be hearing reaction from supporters of both of the candidates just ahead this morning.
A U.S. Senate seat is up for grabs in this year's election as well, and the Republican and Democratic candidates for that race have been decided. We'll have Kentucky primary results coming up.
And even firefighters described the scene as chaotic. More on a fire that destroyed a home in Lexington and damaged 4 others. Ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Wednesday morning, May 18th, and we're glad you're up and at it with us. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain, and what a night it was.
It
oh, my
really
goodness.
Right. We were in here very late.
Yes, you were. I saw
waiting
it.
for the numbers to come in. And, into the night it went. But finally, the decision on the Democratic presidential side, Hillary Clinton, the narrow winner here in Kentucky.
What a close call. Did you think that it would be so close?
You just don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
As we say, the voting machines are set on 0 when you start, right? Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. He is tracking weather for us, and we have, once again, some showers here and there.
Yeah, that's one thing you do know. I mean, we're going to have rain once again for today. However, it's starting to move on out for the northern zones. Northern zones actually starting to see that dry weather filter on in, and all that sliding down toward the southeast. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Another chilly start to the day with that chilly rain, and by the afternoon, we're holding on to 68 degrees, a much better afternoon in store. How long does that last, though? Because, you know, these are short-lived. I'll have that coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Hey, we'll see you then. Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders spent a lot of time in Kentucky over the last 2 weeks. And as primary results have come in overnight, it appears voters were nearly split between the two.
With 99% of the vote in Clinton holds a lead of less than 2,000 votes over Sanders. The Secretary of State's office is calling the race for Clinton. It appears the two candidates will split Kentucky's 55 delegates, which still moves Clinton closer to the Democratic nomination. Now, Clinton declared victory on Twitter in Kentucky a short time ago, and her supporters in Kentucky say they have a lot to celebrate. WKYT Sean Moody talked to people at a Clinton watch party in Lexington. He says most of them went home content with the results.
Clinton supporters were happy to end their evening this way. After several nail-biting hours, some outlets have declared Hillary Clinton the winner of the Kentucky primary.
Oh yeah, it's been a really crazy race. It's been up and down. You know, 1 second Sanders is up, the other second Clinton is up, and so it's been a really exciting night for us.
Oh wow, it was like being at an NFL playoff game that we had the ball when we were behind, and we were inside the 2-minute warning and we made the drive.
But not so fast, says Bernie Sanders.
I guess the people of Kentucky may not have agreed with the assessment that the campaign is over.
In Frankfort, Sanders supporters packed into the Kentucky Coffee Tree Cafe for their watch party, hoping to see victory themselves.
I talked to a couple people that worked at election precincts, and they saw the same thing, 50 to 51, 49 to 50. So I have no idea. I'm hoping Bernie pulls through.
Now, we checked in with the Kentucky Secretary of State's office. They said there is no specific number that would trigger a recount of the votes. Here's a closer breakdown of the 55 Democratic delegates up for grabs in Kentucky. The margin between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders stands at about 0.5%. That means each candidate will likely pick up at least 25 of Kentucky's delegates. The other 5 delegates will be handed out once the final vote tallies are in. Now, Oregon was the other state holding a primary yesterday. Sanders won in that primary with 53% of the votes. On the Republican side in Oregon, presumptive nominee Donald Trump won with nearly 70% of the votes. Trump won Kentucky's Republican caucus, as you remember, back in March. In Oregon, 61 Democratic delegates and 28 Republican delegates are at stake.
As for the U.S. Senate race, there aren't really any surprises. The matchup in November will be what many people expected. Incumbent Republican Senator Rand Paul easily won the GOP primary. And on the Democratic side, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray had no trouble in a field of 7 candidates. Last night, both Senator Paul and Mayor Gray talked about the November election. WKYT's Garrett Weimer continues our Campaign 2016 team coverage.
Please Join me in welcoming the next United States Senator from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Mayor Jim Gray.
It didn't take long for Mayor Jim Gray to join his own party with a primary win. He easily beat 6 other Democrats, then wasted no time going right after his new Republican opponent, Senator Rand Paul.
Paul has turned his back on us, forgotten who he works for, and who elected him.
Looking ahead now to November, WKYT political editor Bill Bryant says having Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders at the top of the ticket for the presidential race in November may not be enough to help Mayor Gray take down Senator Paul.
And so Jim Gray emerges as the Democratic nominee, knowing full well it is an uphill battle to try to defeat a Republican incumbent in Kentucky, given the trends of the last few years. It's been since 1992 that a Democrat won a U.S. Senate seat in Kentucky when Wendell Ford won his last term.
Senator Paul had no trouble beating his 2 primary opponents. He told our D.C. bureau he plans to run on his record against Gray.
I've tried very hard to represent Kentucky by saying, you know what, we need a smaller government, we need to leave more money in Kentucky.
Both candidates emphasized the need to put Kentucky first. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Here I am again. Some of Kentucky's congressional seats were also on the primary ballot. In the 6th district, which includes Lexington and much of central Kentucky, incumbent Republican Andy Barr easily won his primary yesterday. In November, he'll be facing Democrat Nancy Jo Kemper, a Woodford County minister and a lobbyist on social justice issues. In the 1st congressional district, which covers parts of western and central and southern Kentucky, James Comer won the Republican primary. That field included Mike Pape, who ran some controversial ads about immigration. Comer will face Democrat Sam Gaskins in November. And in the 5th congressional district, Republican Congressman Hal Rogers has clinched a 19th term in office. He is the longest-serving congressman from Kentucky, and he easily won the GOP primary. He does not have a Democratic challenger in November. For a complete list of election results from around the state, go to our website, WKYT.com, and you can also find them on the WKYT News app.
A single fire has destroyed 1 home and damaged 4 others in a Lexington neighborhood. That fire started late yesterday afternoon on Stansbury Cove near Hayes Boulevard. Smoke could be seen from miles away. Officer Don flew over the scene, getting this video from Sky First. Lexington firefighters say the fire quickly spread because the homes are so close together. WKYT's Monique Blair has the latest on the investigation.
Like a war zone. I mean, it was hot, smoke, you couldn't see in front of your face, hand in front of your face.
Both those who live along Stansbury Cove and even the firefighters described the scene as chaotic Tuesday afternoon after this home caught fire.
They had got in there just not very far at all, and they had the roof start to collapse on them.
Firefighters quickly had to pull out of the home and contain the fire from the outside. But then the flames began to spread.
Now, not only is this home where the fire started completely destroyed, but 4 other neighboring homes were also damaged by the fire.
The problem is a lot of these houses in these new neighborhoods, this particular house here, as a matter of fact, on one side's less than 10 feet to his neighbor and the other side is less than 7.
Battalion Chief Jeff Nance says with homes still being built very close together, firefighters will likely continue to fight more fires similar to this one.
We're going to see more and more of this as time goes. They're just built too close together. The vinyl siding does nothing to prevent heat from catching another home on fire. It's just going to be, it's the way our future looks right now.
Nobody was hurt as a result of this fire, and investigators are still working to figure out how it started.
Yeah, it was pretty traumatic, yeah.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
More than 50 firefighters responded to the scene. They say it took close to 45 minutes to get that fire under control. Investigators now say a fire that destroyed 2 Moorhead businesses last month was set on purpose. Moorhead police say surveillance video from the morning of April 12th shows a person entering the building. A short time later, the video shows flames coming from that building. Police say that video helped them determine it was arson. The fire destroyed H2O Wireless and Tobacco and Electric Beach Tanning on West Main Street.
People that owns the store and the Electric Beach here and stuff like that, I think it ruined them. It don't ruin the town, though.
Last month, the owner of the building told us the fire caused around $1 million in damage. So far, police have not made any arrests in the case.
New this morning, a 37-year-old pedestrian in McCreary County has died after being hit by a car. According to the coroner there, it happened just before 11 on US 27 in Stearns. He says the driver of the car was not injured. The cause of the crash is still being investigated this morning, but the coroner says it appears to have been an unfortunate accident. Lexington police say someone has been putting 2 credit card skimmers on pumps at a gas station. Police say a maintenance technician found the skimmers at the Marathon on West Main Street. Lexington police are now investigating. So far, they do not know who put the skimmers there. Police say they have told banks and credit unions around the city to expect calls from customers reporting fraudulent activity.
Despite the recent rain, it will soon be time for sunscreen. However, a new study finds sunscreen consumers may be getting burned on their purchases. Consumer Reports tested 65 lotions, sprays, and sticks, all labeled as SPF 30 or above. They found that nearly half of sunscreens do not live up to their labels. 2 types marketed for children failed by a huge margin. The study says Banana Boat Kids and CVS Kids, which are advertised as 50 SPF, actually have a protection factor of 8. CVS and Banana Boat say they stand behind the effectiveness of their products. Seems like a long ways away, though, doesn't it? Needing sunscreen.
That's right. Yeah, sure haven't needed much here lately, right?
I know, right?
WKYT this morning is just getting started. We have a lot more news on the way. It's 4:41 right now.
There's an app for everything these days, but do you really use all the apps on your phone? Moms Every Day will have some advice on clearing electronic clutter when we come back on WKYT.
I typically just hit delete. It seems easy for me. Nice weather is in sight. I can promise you that we're going to delete the rain out of the forecast. And I'm going to show you that come in up in just a few minutes.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Another morning where rain is wrapped right across the region, but the good news here is this is starting to move on out. That's the good news. Afternoon does look much better in our forecast. Here's a look across the area. You go anywhere from, say, Taylor County, Marion County, and also Washington County. Make your way through the bluegrass all the way to Moorhead and also Highway 11 and work your way up toward the AA Highway. That's where you're seeing that rain at this moment. Southern half not really seeing it just yet. Some in Wayne County, McCreary County, but for the most part you're dry. This is actually moving down toward the southeast, so it'll continue to push south and east, and that'll help us out. Frankfort, we're actually done with any of the heavy rain. We'll get a couple of sprinkles, and that's about it. But for the most part, yeah, it looks like it's starting to clear on out for you guys. Frankfort, still some wet roadways. Wet roadways pretty much anywhere you look. Sitting there in the 50s early this morning. By the afternoon, though, like I said, it's mainly dry. I'm not seeing much of a chance. There is a possibility toward the afternoon for a couple of sprinkles, but for the most part, the rain's long gone. Temperatures around 68 degrees. So this afternoon actually looks pretty good, and it'll feel pretty good, too. Much better late in the day. We head towards your Thursday. Awesome Thursday in store. Talking 70 to 75 degrees and finally some sunshine back in the forecast. This is the day you want to knock everything out because guess what? Returns on Friday. Here comes some more rain. Showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. And heavy rainfall is likely a good 1 to 2 inches from Friday morning to about Saturday, or I would say Saturday about noontime, because afternoon on Saturday really doesn't look too bad. It's mainly during the morning hours. And that's your look on your 7-day. So today, afternoon looks pretty good. Remember, guys, we're talking about only a slight chance during the afternoon. We're calling it 10%, and that's it. So mainly dry afternoon at 68. That's a pretty good afternoon. Hopefully we can continue to dry some things out tomorrow. Tomorrow it's 74, mostly sunny skies, and then the rain returns the next couple of days after that. But you did see long term, though. You saw that. 3 consecutive days long term that we're having dry weather. I know. That stands for it.
You know, we can't complain. I've seen video of what's happening in other parts of the country. It is raining and flooding and tornadoes, so we can't complain.
Oh, we can complain.
Well, I guess we can.
But that's the perspective.
Anything to complain about.
All right. Thank you very much, Micah. We appreciate you. It's 4:47 now on WKYT this morning. There's so many great apps out there today. You know, it's easy to think that you need them all. I mean, everybody says, you know, get our app, right?
That's very true. But how often do you actually use all of these apps? How to declutter your electronics on today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. If you're like me, you have all of these social media apps on your smartphone, but they can become a bit overwhelming. Now's a great time to clear the clutter from your electronics. Here's some advice from lifestyle expert Chi-Lan Liu.
So whenever people are saying that it's time for them to really figure out what they want on their phones, I always say look at your goals, look at your needs, and then tailor your social media apps to fit those needs and your lifestyle so that you can save time and reach those goals sooner. I always recommend that people really look at their apps every month and put a reminder in your calendar to clean up those apps, because as you have those apps on your phone, not only is it taking up your phone space, but it could also be draining your battery. Is it running in the background? Is it updating in the background? Is it draining your battery so that you're having to recharge your phone twice during the day? That's a little bit too much. Go into your settings and then uninstall the app, because that's the only way to actually turn that app off, and it won't be on your phone anymore and it won't be taking up any more room.
You can find even more tips from Chi-Lan at momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com and click on Moms Every Day.
And you'll also find the latest news, the election results as well, and weather updated there on our website. Good to have you with us. 4:48 on WKYT, early on your Wednesday morning.
A local sheriff's office says they have some new leads in a burglary. How Facebook helped them when we come back on WKYT this morning.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It is 4:51. We're glad you're with us. The Floyd County Sheriff's Office says Facebook helped them to find some good leads in a theft case.
In a Facebook post, deputies asked if anyone recognized a man caught on camera stealing from a home in the Banner community. They say he stole 2 dryers, a weed eater, and a shop vacuum, among other items. Now, deputies say hours after posting pictures of the crime on Monday, they found the vehicle used to haul away the items.
It's a good anonymous way for people to relay messages to us. It also gets that information out to the public.
Deputies talked to some witnesses yesterday. They are not releasing the man's name just yet, but they say they're still trying to track him down. University of Kentucky police have issued a crime bulletin after a series of motor scooter thefts on campus. Police say in the last month, 9 scooters have been stolen, including in front of Memorial Coliseum and the W.T. Young Library. They say suspects' descriptions have been different for each theft. So far, police have not made any arrests.
The Kentucky Attorney General says Governor Bevin should not have been allowed to remove a trustee from the Kentucky Retirement Systems Board before the trustee's term had expired. Governor Bevin removed Board Chairman Thomas Elliott last month, even though his term doesn't expire for 3 years. In an opinion released yesterday, Attorney General Andy Beshear also says that Elliott's replacement is not as qualified. The governor's office disagrees with that and said the Attorney General's opinion is different from a state Supreme Court precedent. Well, it was quite a sight in the skies over the Northeast, thanks to a meteor. A police dash cam up in Maine and an airport camera in Vermont, among other cameras, caught the meteor lighting up the sky early yesterday. The American Meteor Society reported sightings as far south as Pennsylvania and up into Canada. Quite a show there. The bright light was caused by the meteor burning up as it entered the atmosphere.
Wow. Lit up the entire sky.
Yeah, right. And we hope you'll stay with us now. In just a moment, we'll take a look at some of the news stories our team is working on for you this morning.
Yeah, and we'll have another look at your morning forecast coming up.
It's 4:56 now on WKYT this morning as we say good morning again, and glad you're along with us. And we have a lot going on this morning.
Yeah, we do. It's time to take a look at what we're working on this morning.
It was a close race for the Democratic presidential candidates in Kentucky. With a difference of about 2,000 votes, it seems Kentucky delegates will be about evenly split between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. We'll have more on the Kentucky primary results coming up in our next half hour. And we have some showers that are continuing this morning. Word is that kind of clears out later today.
Let's hope so. Right, Micah?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to push on out here in the next few hours. We got to give it a little time, but it's going to take about 4 to 6 hours before it kind of moves on out for the southern half. It's already starting to move out for the northern half of our viewing area. If you go up toward Owenton and Frankfort, yeah, you'll still have a small chance of rain. For the most part, the bulk of it has already moved past you. So once we hit noontime, it's mainly down toward the southeast. Then we get into the afternoon, mainly dry conditions at 68 degrees. I'll have an awesome day for you tomorrow. Then more rain moves back in. I'm going to show you that with another 2 hours of WKYT News.